My mother died 20 years ago. 20. It hardly seems possible that it was so long ago. She visits me in dreams sometimes. It's always brief, and she never speaks. And when I wake up, I feel like she slipped through my fingers like a will-o'-the-wisp. I remember so many details about her. Her slender arthritic-shaped fingers and how gracefully they worked with a needle or crochet hook or ran over the piano keys. I remember her scent, a mixture of coffee and the cigarettes that eventually killed her. Her green eyes set in her dark skin. Where did she get that skin? And why did none of her children inherit it? What I don't remember is her voice, and it's driving me mad. How can I not remember? Will it ever come back to me? The voice that read to me and sung to me and talked to me for hours on end about everything from the big mysteries of the universe to life's mundane trivialities. My mother was a dreamer and an explorer. I may not have inherited that beautiful skin, but I absolutely inherited these qualities. When my siblings and I were young, she'd set off every summer from the Mississippi Gulf Coast to Omaha, Nebraska, or Minneapolis, Minnesota to visit family. Just a lone woman with 3 small kids. No cell phone, no GPS. These trips were some of the highlights of my childhood. A break from walking on eggshells around the house, a chance to be spoiled by my aunt and grandmother. We all got a say in what mom and pop hotel we would stay at, our choice determined in large part by the kitschiness factor and the swimming pool. I lament the demise of those quaint, darling places. As a widow, my mother's mother was also a single woman traveler. She took her daughters all over, to the Grand Canyon, the Painted Desert, and San Francisco. And she would often meet us halfway on our journeys, and we'd spend a few days exploring somewhere new. After my parents' divorce, we did a lot of camping with my mom and continued to do so until just a short time before her death. We explored the Ozarks, the Black Hills, the Blue Ridge Mountains, and so many more places. I recently decided that I too would like to travel occasionally as a solo female. Don't get me wrong, I love tripping around with Joe, but I also have a need to meet other women who love to camp as much as I do, a rare breed. I recently remodeled our old Toyota motorhome and loved the challenge and was itching to get my hands on another project. I needed something that I could quickly convert into a daily driver, so I went with a 2010 Chrysler Town & Country. I'm still working on it, and like any woman worth her salt, I'll change things up as often as I'd like. The hardest part of the build was deciding on a name. I agonized and went back and forth. Then the morning before my first solo trip, I was taking a shower and I just started crying. The name had come to me like a bolt out of the blue. Marnie. My mother wasn't fond of her name, Marion. I always loved it, but she, for some reason unbeknownst to me, did not. She did, however, love her childhood nickname given to her by her father, Marnie. So Marnie it is. Perhaps Marnie Muriel, if I need to cajole her into going the extra mile. Muriel was my grandmother's middle name. So now I embark on a new chapter where occasionally I travel alone, without Joe, without the kids, alone with my thoughts, alone with nature, free to be busy or free to do nothing. And perhaps, in the stillness of things, I can once again hear my mother's voice.